Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani, Keshwani. We are here because we want to learn how to read and write Hindi, and we are also here because we want to learn how to read and write Urdu. As I explained on the first day, today is our day number 9, as I explained on the first day that I am also learning myself Hindi. I have never learned it before, and I'm learning Hindi as I'm doing this thing, and I'm relearning Urdu, a language that I have not been in contact with over the last 40 years. I want to relearn Urdu, and I want to learn Hindi. That's what we're doing. The first 4 days, 1 through 4, we learned the first matra, the Aki matra. The next 4 days, day number 5 through 5, 6, 7, and 8, we learn Iki matra. And today we learn the third matra, the Oki matra. Let's begin. So, just like in the Iki matra, we had a short E and a long E. Just like that, in Oki matra also, we have a short O and a long O. For example, let me give you a couple of examples from words in English language to make you understand the concept of short O and a long O. For example, if you say the word toe is just pronounced, it's very short, it's just toe. Similarly, if you say bow, the sound is very short, it's just bow. As opposed to words like court, C-A-U-G-H-T, court, it's a long sound. And the symbol is like this, it's a hat, court. As you can see, toe and court, bow and bought, and so on and so forth. Bought would be again the long sound, O with the hat on it, bought and bow. It's a very short sound. Same exact thing applies in Hindi, and the same exact concept applies in Urdu. Okay, let's begin. So to make a choti iki matra, all we have to do is add wow next to the word. That's it. This letter wow we learned long time ago. The letter is called wow right there, and it's called wow. We just have to add to the word and it becomes Oki matra, choti oki matra. What do we do in Hindi? In Hindi, we take the letter. So let's start again. Let's work with the letter B, be, Urdu letter be, and you add wow to it. When you join them, it looks like this. You take your B and you continue with the wow, it becomes bo. And here's a B in Hindi. There's our B. To make a Oki matra, you draw a line here and you put a symbol like this, and it becomes a bow. Similarly, to convert po into a po, we don't have to erase anything. There is our po. You just take your po, you put a line, and you put this symbol on. It becomes a po. Similarly, to, te plus a vowel, becomes to, and it looks like this. And in case you're wondering where I'm picking this letter at random, they're not at random. They're the first letters in the Urdu alphabet. Be, pe, te. I left out the alif for a reason. Let's look at badi ki matra. Bada oki matra. A longer O sound. Bo, as in bought, caught. What do? It says right there. Badi ki matra, you just add wow, just like you do here, but the only difference is that in addition to wow, we have to add one more symbol called zabar, which goes on the top. We learned a symbol called zer when we were doing iki matra, choti iki matra. Now we're going to use a symbol called zabar. Zer goes at the bottom of the letter. Zabar is going to go on the top. For example, we have our ba. We want to convert it into a bo, long sound. We add a wow to it and we put a zabar on it. It goes on the top, just like that. And it becomes bo. How do we do it in Hindi? You take your ba, and just like here, you're going to put a line. Listen very carefully, okay? You put a line, and do not do what I was doing when I was in the beginning, when I was learning it. You have to put 2 of these. The mistake that I made when I was learning it is I just assumed that because I saw 2 sticks here, I thought one is going to go here and one is going to go here. That's not how it is. This is wrong. They both go on the matra right here. Do you understand? Let's do po. To convert po into a po, the long O, we take our pe, add to y to it, don't forget to put the zabar on the pe, and it becomes po. So up until this part is the same as O ki matra, the choti O ki matra. As soon as you put a zabar, without the zabar, it would have taken 1. Without the zabar, it would take 1. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. You see, you need a line there. You need an additional stick after the po. You need additional stick, and then if just 1, that would not have a zabar. If you put zabar, it needs 2. And similarly, to would be, don't forget the zabar, you put your to, and don't forget to put the line, and then you put 2 of them on the same thing. It becomes a to. What about alif? Let's do alif on the top. What about the very first letter, a? When we were learning iki matra, and before I finish my sentence, I just want to make sure that you understand that you must watch these videos in the proper sequence, because just like any other lesson, just like any other course, the teacher assumes that you already know the materials that was covered in the previous lessons. Today is our day number 9. It's important that you already understand and you already have watched and practiced the materials that we covered for iki matra on day number 5, 6, 7, and 8. Do you understand? In iki matra, let me first take your iki matra. In iki matra, what we learn is that if you take a alif and you put a zabar underneath it, it becomes e, choti e. But what we learned is that you don't take your so you see for ba, here's your ba, and if you want a choti iki matra, you just do this, you take your be and you put a zabar underneath it. What we learn is that to make a choti e, you don't do this. There is a special symbol in Hindi that looks like this. Similarly, badi iki matra, you take your alif and you put a choti e, it becomes e. But you don't take your alif and put a line there just like you would do it for b. This would be wrong. There's a special symbol that looks like this. It's just like that, it's like that. So in other words, we found out that for the first letter it was an exception. It behaved in an odd manner because there are unique letters, unique symbols in Hindi to make a choti sound and a badi sound. But when we are dealing with O ki matra, it behaves in the exact same way as all of these. It behaves in the exact same way. So let's write the O ki matra. So for I ki matra, A has a unique letters, but for O ki matra, it's going to behave in the exact same manner as these guys are. You take your you put another line next to it, and you put one of these, that will become O. Just in Urdu, nothing changes. You just add wow to it. It's just that wow does not join the alif. Wow joins the be and the pe and the te, but it does not join the alif. Similarly, you want a longer O sound. If you want a longer O sound, in Urdu again is the same thing. You take your letter, you put a zabar on it, and you put a wow next to it, and you're done. And you have to know whether or not the letter is supposed to join that letter or not. Do you understand? Here you take your you put a line, and then you put 2 of this. As you can see, it behaves in the exact same manner as these guys are. It's not an exception, which I found interesting. Because after having learned iki matra, I just assumed there's going to be something unique for O also, but it's not. Now we are ready. Okay, let's begin. So as always, we're going to do them in pairs. One word which will have choti O ki matra, another word which will have a badi O ki matra, the longer O. Here's the first example. The word is ma. Wow, that's mo. So far it's mo. So far it's just mo. And then you put a ra next to it, re, and that's more. I was about to put it here, but I extended it. I cheated. More. More is an animal. I think it's a peacock. More. Let's contrast this sound of more, which is a short O. Let's contrast this sound with a longer O sound in a word like this. Dal. You put a zabar on it. Now it's no longer do. Without the zabar, it would have been do. it would have been do. As you can tell, I'm learning Hindi. That's the do. As soon as you put a zabar on it, you need another one. There's a longer O. So that's do. No, not like that. Two of them. Do, and then we have a lam and a te. La and a ta. Dolat. Dolat, as you can see, is a longer sound, dolat, as opposed to more. Dolat. We have to join them. We can't leave them like this. They're just going to join. It's very simple. It's just going to join like this. There we go. Dolat. Dolat, more. Let's do one more. Here's a short O, short O ki matra. This is our kaf. We're going to join it with vav. And when it joins the vav, it's going to become ko. And then ta. Coat. Coat is in something one wears. That's a curve. You have to put a line there, stick here, and that becomes a ko. And then ta. Coat. And I'm sure these things that are referred to as sticks and lines, I'm sure they have names in Hindi language. I just don't know them. Do you understand? Coat. Let's do another one with a longer O sound. But in this time, the word that we are about to write, you will use this letter that we learned on day number 7. This is called kaf. This letter is called kaf. Kaf, as opposed to kaf. It's a glottal sound. It's an Arabic sound. It doesn't exist in Hindi, but it appears in the spelling of the words. Kaf, as opposed to this kaf, like we used here. That's a k. That's also a k. But the word that we're about to write calls for this k, not that k. If you spell it with this k, it would be wrong spelling. This k is also called kaf. This k is also called kaf. They're both called kaf. One is k and one is k. K, k. Do you understand? Let's write the word. So we have two of them. So that tells us this it's not a row, it's row. Row, na, ka. Ronak. Re, wow, and then forget the zabar. That's what makes it a longer O. Ro, na, but the ka we need is this ka. This guy right here. Now we have to join them. The re and the wow do not join. That's going to remain like this. This noon that you see here will become a very tiny one. It will become very tiny one. It's going to sit on the top of the ka. Ronak. That's how you write Ronak. Let's do one more with the choti o ki matra. Here's the word. Che, wow, and re. Cha, wa, and ra. Chor. When che joins the smaller form of che, it's like this. We know this. That's what che is. And it's just going to join the wow. And then ra by itself. Chor. Choti o ki matra. Let's do on this side a word with the badi o ki matra, a long O sound. We have a chor. Here's a simple word here. Now the way I have written it, there is no such word in Hindi or Urdu. The word that we have written is, it looks like this. What we have here is mo, ta. It's not mot, it's mot. It needs a zabar, mot. Mot as opposed to mot. Mot as in death. Do you understand? Let's do one more. While we are at it, why don't we do another word beginning with just like this so we don't have to raise anything. Here's another one. This is seen and this is meme. Mosam. Mosam as in season. Let's write it in Hindi over here. Oh, we already wrote it. Let's combine them. When the scene combines, when sin is about to join the next letter, when sin is about to join this next letter, it loses all of this part. It loses all of this part and all we are left with are two tiny semicircles. And it has to join this guy. All this guy is going to do is he's going to get up and move closer. Mo, sum. There you go. Mosam, as in season. Let's do another pair. Oh, I didn't want to erase this thing. O. O and O. O and O. Let's do another one. This next one is tricky. It's tricky for the Urdu writers, not for Hindi writers. Let me first write the Hindi word. This word is duh. As I explained before, when we were learning this letter right here, her comes in four different forms. And one of the her, we call them he. One of the he is this he. It's called do chashmi hai. I will make a separate video on words containing do chashmi hai. But that hai, out of the four hai, this hai is used only for the situations where we have to make sounds for which the letters do not exist in English. Let me give you one quick example with the English. For example, if I want to write Bharat in English, they do not have a letter for B. So what do? They put a B and an H. The same exact thing we do in Urdu. Same exact thing we do in Urdu. We take our be, and we combine it with he, and becomes a b. Similarly here, this is a duh. We do not have a word for it. We do not have a letter for it. So what do? We take our duh, and we combine it with her. Now it becomes a duh. Duh. And now we're going to put a vowel next to it. Becomes a do. So the way it's written right now is like this. Do what? Dole. There you go, dole. Dole is the drum. Dole. Let's do another one. There is a noon. That's the noon. I made it very large on purpose. And when it joins the vowel, it becomes like this. No. No, and then a t. Note. Note is in the currency. Note. Again, because it doesn't have a zabar on top of it, it's a choti o ki matra. Note. Let's do a word with badi o ki matra. If by mistake I end up saying badi e or badi or choti e, you know I'm just made a mistake. We're not talking about e ki matra, we're doing o ki matra. Here's the word. I'm going to write them separately first, okay? Po, and this is a kaf. This is a kaf when it's about to join something. When it's not about to join something, it looks like this in the full form. It's about to join the o, v. So that's so far is ko. Why don't we write it in Hindi here? So far we have po and we have a ko. Po, ko. The way it's written so far it's choti o ki matra. Pa, ko, and then re and choti. We learned the word. We learned the letter re before, right there. So what does it say? Pakori, but it's not supposed to be pakori. O is supposed to be longer. It's supposed to be pakori. It needs a zabar. It needs a zabar. So we need the second one here. And then re, how does it go? I forgot. Pakodi. As I told you before, several times, that's what I'm doing. I'm just learning, just like you are. Pakodi. Badi ki matra. So here we have two matras. We have badi o ki matra and badi e ki matra. There is the badi o ki matra and this is badi e ki matra. Pakodi. Pakodi. We have to join them together. We'll do it in a second. Pakodi. But before we do that, let me write another word. I'm going to write them separately so you can see it. Here's the ka with the zabar. Okay, pay attention. So this is ka with the zabar, ko with the zabar. So that means it's a longer ko. That's a ko. Don't confuse this one. Don't confuse this one with This is a G. When they are next to each other, on top of each other, that's a G. Gaf. We learned it before. Kaf and Gaf somewhere here. I know we did. Right there on day number 3. Kaf and Gaf. So that's a Gaf and that's a Go. You see how slight the difference is. If they are on top of each other, that's a G. But this guy is not on top of it. It's a Zabar. This is a Zabar. This is part of the letter. That's a Zabar. Zabar goes on the K to make it a longer O. Ko and Go. Go, Ko. Pakori. Pakori. Let's put them together. Actually, there is nothing to put together. You just bring your P, make it smaller, and join this guy. And that's how it is. And of course, when you're writing it, the Re will have to get closer also. There you go, Pakori. Pakori as opposed to coat. Coat is a very short sound. Pakori, Ko is much longer. Let's do another pair. Here is the next letter we're going to learn. Well, we learned it before, we're going to reintroduce it. Gaf. That sounds make a G sound. So in Urdu we have 2 Gs. This is one G which is exactly equal to the Hindi G. Exactly. And then we have this one which is called, this letter is called Gain. Oh, that's a Gon. It's called Gain. I'm not going to worry about it right now. And it looks like this. And that's an approximate G. And because to keep them separate, we see the dot here, we put the dot underneath to remind ourselves that this is a G we're dealing with here. So word that we're about to write takes a Gain. This makes a G sound and this makes a G. G again is grottle, G and G. You understand? Again, these are words that have crept into Hindi language from Arabic. In Arabic they have this sound, and therefore in Hindi there is no letter for it. So we improvise by putting a dot underneath it. Here's the word. Gaf. So when the Gaf full form looks like this. When it's about to join something it looks like this. Gaf and then Wow. There's Go. So far it is Go. We don't need Go, we need a Go. Longer sound. And then Re. Gor. Gor kare, as in pay attention, be attentive. Gor se dekhiye. Look at it attentively. Gor. Let's do another one. Here's our regular Kaf. It's going to join the Wow. And now it has a Zabar on top of it, so it's not a Ko, it's a Ko. Ko. No. Kon. Kon as in who? Kon. As opposed to this sound here. Go. You see how it is? That's how it is. That's a G. And even though technically, strictly speaking, they're supposed to sit nicely on it like this, but when you're writing, people are not that careful. It comes out sometimes sloppy. So when you see something like this, you know what it is. It's a Go. Go. And that's a short O. Go. Ra. Gora. Gora is in white. Let's do another pair. To, le, tol. Tol, as in to measure something, to weigh something. Tol, tol करें उसे. उसको तोल करके मुझे बताएं क्या उसका वजन है. Tol, as opposed to. Oh, let's not go in a hurry. So here we're going to join lam with a wow. Lam makes a l sound. It's going to join the wow, so it's going to be low. But how do we join them? Very easy. You take your lam and you just continue with the wow. And then the next letter we have is t. But it's not lot, It's not load, it's load. Load किया जाए. Come back. Load means to come back. Let's do one more pair. Same again. Log. Log. Log as in people. Again, you see how the gaf came out? Log. Log. Here's the next one. This is our scene. And wow. So, and then dal and alifs. So these two are good together. That's a O ki matra, but it's not just a O ki matra, it's a very O ki matra. And then this is A ki matra, soda. So when they join them together, it's going to be, it's supposed to have two. It's supposed to have two of these. It's supposed to have two of these, and then you make one more. Soda. Soda is in bargaining something. When you strike a deal, soda kar liya. We agreed on a price. Soda. Soda. Badi O ki matra. So, and then da. Soda. I have many other examples here. I don't know how far I can keep on going. We'll finish it up. We'll finish up whatever I have on my notes, because I don't want to leave it alone. Did we do goal? We just did goal. Here's the next one. A letter that we have not learned yet. We're going to introduce a new letter on day number 9. The letter looks like this. And this is the T. This is a T. It looks like this, and it's called Toy. It's called Toy, and it makes approximately T sound. It does not exist in Hindi. Again, these are letters, words from Arabic that they are crept into Urdu language, and the writer has to know which T to use, which G to use, which Z to use, which H to use. We have 4 different Zs. We have 4 different Hs. We have 2 different Ks, Kaf and Kaf. We have 2 different We have Alif and we have Ain. We have Toy, and we have a Te. How does one to know which one to use in the writing? Well, one has to know. Just like you would know your spelling of the words when you're learning English language, we have to memorize the spelling of every single word. The same thing applies here. But in Hindi, you just use a T. This is a Toy, and you just use T. Before we go any farther with this thing, let's learn how to use it join it with Alif. This is a Toy, and when it joins the Alif, it takes a very strange shape. It looks like this. Okay, watch this. You take your T and you just continue. And that becomes a Ta. Now let's join it with the Vav. Of course, we have to join it with the Vav, because that's what we're doing here. We're doing O ki matra, and it's going to require O, it's going to require Vav. How does it join Vav? It joins like this. You take your T and it just joins. And that becomes To. That becomes To. All we have to do is put them together. All we have to do is put them together. Now, where can we do it? We can do it right here. There is your To, and there is your Ta. See, in Hindi you don't have to deal with any of this nonsense, because you just have a regular T, and that's it, that's the job. But the correct spelling of Tota is this in Urdu. If somebody were to spell Tota like this, Tota, that would be wrong. That is not how we spell parrot in Urdu. Parrot in Urdu is spelled like this. And this guy is supposed to come down a little bit, and it looks a little bit nice. Tota. Just like it did here. Tota is in parrot. As you can see, it's a short To sound. It's a very short one. Tota. Let's do one with a long O. Let's do one with a longer O. We did Tota. How about, this is a tricky one. I'm going to erase everything. The next two are a little tricky. Let's start here. We have an Alif and a Zer. We know that makes an E sound. We know that it makes a choti Iki sound, because we learned it in the last 4 days So that's a short E that takes care of E. Then we have a kaf. Ik. Then we have a lo. Lam and a waw. Lo. But it's not a short O ki matra. This is not a short O. This is a badi O. So it's a longer O. Ik lo, not lo, lo. Ik lo, and then ta. Iklota. Iklota means the only child. If parents have no other children other than just one, a single child is called iklota. If it's a boy, the feminine would be ikloti. Iklota. But in this one, as you can see, the lo is much longer. Iklota. Let's put them together. There is nothing to put together. Look, there is nothing to put together. All that is going to happen is that this ka is going to get up and join here. Like this. That's all. And of course, alif has to come closer. That's how it looks. That's a zabar. That's a zabar. That's what gives us the second. That's what makes it a longer O sound. Iklota. Iklota means the only child. Let's do the next one. The tricky one. That's a ga. That's kaf plus a ha. That's the only way we can make a ga in Urdu because we don't have a letter for it. In Hindi you do. The ga is like this. That's your ga. But in Urdu, if you want to write ga, we have to write K plus H. Ga. Just like you would do in English. Just if you want to write somebody's name Khalid, you write it like this, Khalid. Just same exact concept. Oh no, that's not the same concept. That was a lousy concept. Because that ka is this ka. That was a horrible concept. Because we have two kas. Let's not go there. So it's ka. So that's a ka. We're going to put a zero underneath it. That's a choti E ki matra. So that's ki. And then we're going to have the same lo. Let me put it in a different color so you can see it. Same long lo. Lo. Kilona. Kilona. Ka is going to join here. Kilona. As in toy. Ki. Longer lo. Lo. Badi O ki matra. And then now. Kilona. As in toy. I have one last pair left. Actually, we have one more. Just like we have a ka here, we also don't have a ga. So if we want to make a ga, we take a ga in Urdu, and we put a do chashmi here. We talked about it. Do chashmi here. Not there. That's a da. That's how we make a da. Da and a ha. Da. That's how we make a da. Do chashmi here, right there. We take a ga and we put it with the ha, just like you would do here. The only difference is instead of one line, it's going to have two lines. So it's going to look like this. Instead of one line, it's going to have two lines. So now it becomes a go. And in Urdu, in Hindi, ga looks like this. That's a ka. Ga looks like this. That's a ga. We don't need a ga, we need a go. Go. And then we have a ra. I always have trouble with ra. I don't know why. I have to learn it properly. Ra. Go ra. Go ra. Gora. Voila. Gora. Gora as in horse. Gora. Let's do one more with a longer O sound. Badi O ki matra. So here we have no. So that's a no. We don't need a no, we need a no, longer one. So we put a zabar on it and we put a second one on it. No. Ka. That's a ka. And a ra. Nokar. Nokar. Let's do the last one with a short O. With a short O. So here's a sa. And it's going to join the verb. Wow. And when it does it, it loses all of this thing. It just has two of these. And for a wow, we make one more. That makes a so. So. And that's a choti O ki matra. And then now. Sona as in gold. Well, I achieved everything that I wanted to achieve. I don't know how long the video is, but that's the first part of O ki matra. That's part 1. And I believe I'm going to do 2 more. Yes, O ki matra. This was part 1 of 3. For E ki matra, we ended up doing 4 parts. I think I'm going to take care of O ki matra with just 3 parts. In 3 lessons, we'll have enough words to practice to understand the concept of short O and long O. We'll meet again tomorrow on day number 10. We'll continue this thing, O ki matra, day 10 and day 11. Alright? I'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.